Hi, everybody. We're going to finish up by looking at the affin lexicon. This lexicon is a little bit different than other lexicons that we've looked at because each word has basically a valence score that runs between -5 and 5, with negative scores indicating negative sentiment and positive scores indicating positive sentiment. It only has a single variable that is problematic, but it also just doesn't assume that all words are either positive or negative, but have a continuous score across them. So let's look at how we bring in affin. We use the get sentiments. This is the function from tidy text, and we just say, hey, get sentiments, we want affin, and we call on affin. And we look at that table and we can see that there are about 2,500 words, and that they are either going to be positive or negative. So we can see that abandon, abducted, abhor are all negative, but a word like abhor is much more negative in sentiment terms than abandon. What we want to do real quickly, and this is going to be much easier than working with the NRC, is we want to basically try to bring in and link these words in affin to the words that we have in our MOOC data. So let's look at an earlier data frame that we had, and this was called forum posts, and it should still be in your memory. But if you look at forum posts, we can see that we have about 112,000 words across all of the students' forum posts, and these are the words. And this is the words for member 90, which is hi, I have, and so these have already been tokenized within this data frame. So all we really want to do is we want to say, hey, let's have affin words, and we're going to take forum posts, and we're going to interjoin by affin. It will automatically join by words because, as you can see here, we have word, and in affin we also have word. So it's going to find that there's two columns that have the same column name, and it will join by that. And then when we look at the string for affin words, all we're going to do is we're going to find the same data frame we had before, but now we're going to have a value. And that value, as you see, is going to be from 1 -1, well, it'll be from -5 to 5, but here we can see a -1, a 2, a -2. And so we can see that the first word hard is a -1, the word thank is a 2, trouble is a -2, and like is a 2. So it's lining up as it should. We then want to create an average sentiment score by text because these are already scored. We don't need to normalize by the number of texts or the number of words in the texts because these are already average scores for word. So all we're going to do here is we're going to take affin words and we're going to get a data frame called mean data affin. So we're going to group by anonymized name, and these are the members or the students that were in the MOOC. And we're going to summarize the mean sentiment score. And when we call that up, we're going to see that we have anonymized name, the members, and then the mean sentiment score for each of those students. Then we can use all of that data. But what we then want to do is we want to basically take the data frame we have here, and we want to be able to add in whether these students completed or did not complete. All right, so let's go back to the initial data frame called final_MOOC_Baker_data. And we're just going to use our function read_CSV. But all we're really interested is selecting anonymized name and completion. And then once we have completion, we want to mutate it to create a new string called completion string. And basically when completion equals 1, we're going to label it complete. And when it equals 0, we're going to call it incomplete. And when we call that up, we're going to have this data frame that has anonymized name, whether it's a completion from a 0 to 1, and whether it's a completion string. So incomplete, complete, complete, incomplete. So if you remember before, we had the mean data affin. We also have the all data affin. We can see that the first columns are the same. So we can just use the left join here to join the mean data affin with all data, and we can do it by anonymized name. And then we're going to have our final data frame. And this is going to have the anonymized name, the mean sentiment, completion as a number and completion string as a factor, or in this case, a character. And then in the next video, we're going to talk about how to quickly visualize these differences and how to run relatively simple statistics on it. So I'll see you there.